In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to divide the side of a building drawn in perspective into equal parts. To start, we are going to draw our horizon. The horizon can be any height, but for buildings, it is helpful to have a lower horizon so that we can see more of the height of the building. This horizon is 3 inches high. I measure up the left side and the right side 3 inches, and then I connect the dots. I'm using a longer ruler so that my horizon can extend out to the left, and you'll see why shortly. I'm going to draw the right edge of my building, and this needs to be a perfectly vertical line. I'm going to use the edge of my paper to make sure that this line is perfectly straight. Because my horizon is lower, I'm going to have the building go a fair amount above the horizon. We need to add a vanishing point now. This point lives on the horizon, and it's what puts our building in perspective. I'm putting it fairly far to the left so we don't have too much distortion. When a vanishing point is too close to the edge of a building, the angles are very sharp. I'm going to connect the top edge of my building to the vanishing point, and this diagonal line is called an orthogonal. I'm going to do the same for the bottom as well. After this orthogonal is drawn, I need to draw in the left edge of my building. This can be anywhere on the paper, right at the edge or right in the middle. It's important that this line stay parallel to the first edge of the building, and you can use the edge of your paper to make sure this line is perfectly vertical. I'm going to label the point where the right edge of my building intersects with my horizon line and label it A. I'm going to label the top left corner B and the top right corner C. I'm going to draw a horizontal line that intersects with point C, keeping it parallel with the horizon. I can use the top edge of the paper to make sure that this line stays perfectly horizontal and parallel with the horizon. I'm going to extend this line out beyond the picture plane as well. This line is called the measuring line, and I'm going to label that. I'm now going to draw a diagonal line from point A to point B and extend it until it intersects with the measuring line. I'm going to label this point of intersection D. I'm going to measure the distance between point D and point C. I'm using centimeters because that is an easier unit of measurement to divide into increments. Line DC in my drawing is 23.5 centimeters. I'm going to divide this line into 4, so I'm going to use my calculator. 23.5 divided by 4. I'm going to round this number up to 5.9 centimeters. I'm now going to draw little dots on line DC every 5.9 centimeters. I'm going to label these dots E, F, and G. I'm going to draw 3 diagonal lines now, starting from point A and connecting to those 3 points, E, F, and G. I'm now going to make note where these diagonal lines intersect with my top orthogonal. I'm going to label these 3 points H, I, and J. At these 3 points on the top orthogonal, I'm going to draw vertical lines to the bottom orthogonal. I'm going to double check that these lines are perfectly vertical using the edges of the building and the edge of my paper too. And there you have it. This side of the building has been divided into 4 sections, getting smaller as they go away from you to the vanishing point.